Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol. Baby, we're diving into the red-hot action of the Minnesota Vikings 2025 preseason opener against the Texans, where our boy J.J. McCarthy made his grand return. Rookies lit up the field, and some tough injuries left us holding our breath. Can the Vikings carry this momentum into the regular season, or will these setbacks sting? Let's break down every heart-pounding moment from this 20-10 victory and get you hyped for what's next. What's your take on JJ's big day? Drop it in the comments. Picture this: US Bank Stadium buzzing, the crowd roaring, and our 2024 first-round pick JJ McCarthy stepping onto the field for his first action since that brutal meniscus tear last August. The kid knew he'd have limited snaps, but he made every second count, leading a 13-play, 58-yard drive that screamed potential. From a clutch third-down conversion to a slick scramble on fourth, JJ showed why we're so excited about him. How do you think he'll stack up against the Pats in joint practices? But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were highs, lows, and some gut-wrenching moments. Rookies like Gabriel Murphy and Dallas Turner brought the heat, while injuries to key players like Rondale Moore had us all on edge. Stick with me as we unpack all 15 scenes of this wild game, from explosive plays to defensive dominance. Ready to relive the action? Let's go. J.J. McCarthy's return was nothing short of electric. After sitting out all of 2024 with that torn meniscus, the former Michigan star stepped up with poise, completing 4 of 7 passes for 30 yards in his lone drive. That 10-yard dart to Jordan Addison on 3rd and 4? Pure precision, keeping the chains moving at the Minnesota 28. Vikings fans, how pumped are you to see JJ back in action? The drive wasn't just about his arm. JJ's legs stole the show too. Facing a blitz on 4th down, he dodged Houston's Jake Hansen like a seasoned vet and scrambled for 8 yards to keep the drive alive. Head coach Kevin O'Connell couldn't stop raving about his composure and poise. And honestly, who can blame him? That kind of grit is what we've been craving. But not every play was a highlight reel. A batted down receiver screen and a failed 3rd and 5 pass to Jordan Mason meant the drive ended with a 48-yard field goal by Will Reichard instead of a touchdown. Still, 13 plays, 6:03 on the clock, and points on the board. JJ set the tone. What do you think he needs to work on before the regular season? Newcomer Jordan Mason stepped in for Aaron Jones Sr., who sat out this game, and he didn't disappoint. The running back, recently acquired, punched through for a 5-yard run early in the drive, setting up JJ's 18-yard strike to Addison. That play showed off McCarthy's arm strength, threading the needle past midfield with surgical accuracy. Who else is loving this new-look backfield? Mason kept the ground game rolling with a 9-yard rush, proving he's got the burst to keep defenses honest. His final carry of the day added another 5 yards, but a dropped pass on 3rd and 5 stalled the drive. Still, his physicality and vision gave us a glimpse of what he could bring to this offense. What's your take on Mason as a potential RB2? O'Connell's play calling leaned heavily on Mason's runs to balance the attack, and it paid off by controlling the clock for over 6 minutes. With Aaron Jones sidelined for this one, Mason's carries showed depth in the backfield. Vikings Nation, are you buying the hype on this guy, or do we need to see more? The defense came to play, and rookie Gabriel Murphy was a straight-up menace, stepping in for big names like Jonathan Greenid and Andrew Van Ginkel, who were rested. Murphy made his presence felt with a sack on Texans QB Kedon Slovis, forcing a punt. That's the kind of fire we love from our undrafted gem. Who else is stoked about Murphy's breakout? Murphy didn't stop there. He teamed up with fellow undrafted rookie Bo Richter for a massive 13-yard sack just before halftime, protecting a 13-7 lead. O'Connell called him a man on a mission, and with 5 QB hits, it's clear Murphy's learned a ton from watching Greenid and Van Ginkel last year. How big of a role do you see him playing this season? The edge rusher room is stacked with talent: Greenid, Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, and now Murphy and Richter throwing their hats in the ring. Murphy's ability to finish plays, something he worked on all offseason, is paying dividends. Vikings fans, who's your dark horse in this linebacker group? Dallas Turner, our 2024 first-rounder, was a force in his limited snaps. Starting alongside Murphy, he generated relentless pressure, nearly picking off a pass in true Van Ginkel style. The dude was a wrecking ball on the opening series, setting the tone for a defense that refused to back down. How excited are you for Turner's rookie year? Though Turner only played the first series, his impact was undeniable, collapsing pockets and making life miserable for Houston's O-line. Posts on X raved about his dominance, with one fan noting he sacked Sam Howell and nearly pulled off a pick in practice earlier this week. Is Turner already looking like a Pro Bowl talent? The Vikings' decision to rest Greenid and Van Ginkel gave Turner a chance to shine, and he didn't waste it. With joint practices against the Patriots coming up, expect him to keep turning heads. What's the ceiling for this kid in Brian Flores' defense? Sam Howell, the veteran acquired in a draft day trade, showed why he's a reliable QB2. Relieving McCarthy, he went 11-for-13 for 105 yards, posting a crisp 100.3 passer rating. Oh, and he punched in a QB sneak TD with 3:18 left in the first half. Skull, how confident are you in Howell as our backup? Howell's efficiency kept the offense humming, picking apart Houston's secondary with quick, decisive throws. His ability to step in and keep the chains moving showed the depth we've got at QB. After a rocky 2024, is Howell ready to lock down that backup role? O'Connell's trust in Howell was clear. He let him run the show for most of the first half. With JJ as the future and Howell holding it down, the QB room looks solid. Vikings fans, what's your take on our quarterback depth chart? Brett Rippon and Max Brosmer got their shots too, and they brought different flavors to the table. Rippon, a 2024 practice squad guy, struggled in the third quarter, going 1-for-4 for 6 yards, but a dropped deep ball by Jeshaun Jones didn't help. Should we be worried about Rippon's shaky outing? Brosmer, the undrafted rookie from the Gophers, lit it up in the fourth, going 5-for-8 with 47 yards and a touchdown pass to Miles Price. That 118.2 passer rating had fans buzzing. Is Brosmer making a case for the QB3 spot? The contrast between the two showed the highs and lows of our depth. While Rippon's experience didn't shine through, Brosmer's late-game heroics gave us something to cheer for. Who's got the edge in the battle for the third-string job? The Vikings' defense wasn't just about sacks. Interceptions were flying. Ambry Thomas snagged the first pick off Texans QB Graham Mertz, setting the tone for a ball-hawking secondary. After leading the NFL with 24 picks in 2024, this unit still got it. Who's your favorite DB on this roster? Khalif Hailassi, recently moved to safety, had a field day with 2 interceptions off Mertz. O'Connell praised his corner coverage skills and physicality, noting how he fits perfectly in Flores' scheme. Is Hailassi the steal of the offseason? The defense's ability to create turnovers, 33 total takeaways last year, kept Houston on their heels. With guys like Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus mentoring the young Bucks, this secondary could be elite. What's the key to keeping this turnover machine rolling? Rookie Donovan Jackson, starting at left guard, held his own against his hometown Texans. Playing alongside newcomers Justin Skule and Will Fries, plus veteran Brian O'Neill, Jackson helped anchor a solid O-line for that opening drive. How big of a steal was this third-round pick? Jackson's parents, who toured US Bank Stadium after his draft day, were in the stands watching their son live out his NFL dream. I grew up going to their games, Jackson said of facing Houston. That personal connection had to make his debut extra special. What's it like to see a local kid shine? The O-line's depth is shaping up, with Skule filling in for Christian Darrisaw and Kelly at center. Jackson's performance showed he's ready to compete for a starting spot. Vikings fans, how confident are you in our line protecting JJ? Ty Felton, another rookie, made his mark on special teams and offense. He opened the game with a 24-yard kickoff return and caught 2 passes for 14 yards. That third-round pick is looking like a Swiss Army knife. How many roles can Felton handle this year? Felton's speed and versatility were on full display, giving O'Connell options in the return game and passing attack. His ability to make an impact in multiple phases could be huge for a team looking to stretch defenses. What's your favorite play from Felton so far? With Justin Jefferson sidelined for this game, Felton stepped up as a target. His 36 yards on 2 kickoff returns showed he's got the juice to break one open. Vikings Nation, is Felton the spark we need on special teams? Undrafted rookie Silas Bolden handled punt returns, taking one for 8 yards and calling a fair catch on another. It's a small sample, but his quick decision-making stood out. Could Bolden be our next return specialist? Australian punter Oscar Chapman, part of the International Player Pathway program, boomed a 52-yard punt that had Houston's Jovhar Jordan scrambling. Felton's hustle as a gunner forced a fumble, though Houston recovered. How clutch was that effort? Special teams are often the difference in close games, and these young guys are showing they've got the tools. With Chapman's leg and Bolden's instincts, the Vikings could have an edge. What do you want to see from our special teams unit? Miles Price, another undrafted rookie, made waves with a 3-yard touchdown catch from Brosmer in the fourth quarter. That score came right after a negated TD to Dante Fleming, keeping the drive alive. Is Price sneaking onto the roster? Price also hauled in a 15-yard reception, showing he's got reliable hands. With depth at receiver a question mark, especially with Jefferson out, Price's performance was a bright spot. Who else is rooting for this kid to make the team? The receiver room is crowded, but Price's knack for finding the end zone could earn him a spot. O'Connell's got tough decisions ahead at this position. Vikings fans, who's your pick to emerge as WR3? Now, let's talk about the tough stuff. Rondale Moore, our speedy receiver/returner, was back after missing all of 2024 with a knee injury. He took Minnesota's first punt return and showed that electric speed, but a tackle on the sideline left him down. Vikings Nation, how are you holding up after that? The scene was heartbreaking. Moore needed extended treatment, and teammates like Jefferson and McCarthy walked over to support him as he was carted off. O'Connell said an MRI is coming, but early signs point to a pretty significant knee injury. Let's send some love to Rondale in the comments. Losing Moore, who was poised for a big role in the return game and passing attack, could hurt. His speed was a weapon we were counting on. How do you think the Vikings adjust if he's out for a while? Undrafted rookie center Zeke Correll also left the game on a cart after a right ankle fracture, confirmed by X-ray. O'Connell didn't sugarcoat it, calling it a tough loss. Losing depth in the O-line is never good. How worried are you about this injury? Correll was battling for a backup role, and this setback could open the door for someone else to step up. The Vikings' O-line depth is being tested early, with Darisaw also sitting out this game. Who do you trust to fill those gaps? Injuries are the worst part of football, and seeing 2 players carted off stings. O'Connell's hate comment about losing guys hit home. Let's rally for Moore and Correll in the comments, Vikings fans. The Vikings' 20-10 win was a team effort, but the defense deserves a standing ovation. From Murphy's sacks to Halasey's picks, they kept Houston's offense in check. Posts on X called the D-line wrecking in practice, and they brought that energy to game day. How dominant can this defense be? Brian Flores' scheme thrives on chaos, and this game showed why. The 3 interceptions and multiple sacks kept the Texans scrambling, building on last year's league-leading 24 picks. What's the one thing this defense needs to take it to the next level? With stars like Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus mentoring the young guys, this unit feels like a perfect blend of vets and rookies. Vikings Nation, are you buying this defense as a top 5 unit? What a way to kick off the 2025 preseason, Vikings Nation. From J.J. McCarthy's poised return to Gabriel Murphy's sack party, this 20-10 win over the Texans gave us plenty to cheer for. But with injuries to Moore and Correll, there's work to do. What's your biggest takeaway from this game? We've got joint practices with the Patriots up next, and I can't wait to see how J.J., Turner, and the rest of the squad stack up. Drop your predictions in the comments. What do you want to see in those sessions? And who's your breakout star so far? If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Vikings content. Share this video with your fellow Skol fans, and let's keep the purple pride alive. Skol Vikings!